Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Dr. Fantastic Cooks. I've got my lovely assistant here, Kathy, and we are going to cook my favorite pizza, and it will be your favorite if you ever try it. And you've never had a sauerkraut pizza, have you?
Never had.
People, even if you don't like sauerkraut, this will blow your mind. So the first step is to get a big black pan, and a lot of people, my aunt who has this gorgeous place in Prescott, didn't have a black skillet. Who doesn't have a black skillet? It's ridiculous, right? So would you mind turning that on for me?
High or
Yes.
medium?
Medium. So basically, we're gonna ground the beef, and I like, what kind of meat you like. If you don't like beef, then of course, this isn't a recipe for you. But sometimes I'll put turkey. But this time we're gonna go ground round, and then I got firecracker Johnsonville special flavor spicy sausage. So I quite rinse my hands. Everybody gotta wash your hands 30 times a day, or God forbid something bad will happen to you. Now these cooking shows are brought to you by VEA, and right in front of you is a cucumber that I brought special in for Kathy because she loves cucumbers. Who doesn't love cucumbers?
Who doesn't like cucumbers?
You gotta love cucumbers. Is that fire on? Okay, it is.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So, while we're cooking the beef, my assistant here is going to learn how
I'm
to,
going to do this. So that-
both sides.
Yeah.
It's a big pan, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a big pan.
It's a big pan. So my little assistant here is going to take handfuls of the sauerkraut, and she's going to rinse it over there, squeeze it out, and then put it here.
You just want me to squeeze
Like half of that.
or rinse it,
No, you
Not
take,
rinse it.
No, take a handful
right?
and squeeze out the juice, and then put the squeeze in there. Now, of course, most sausage has the casing, so we don't want to cook the casing. So what you do is you squeeze the sausage out of the casing, like that. There we go. One. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to cook all this meat inside the skillet. Then after it's cooked, we're going to take it off the skillet, and the skillet will still have some remaining grease on it. And after the grease is going to actually coat the bottom of the what do you call it? The pizza crust.
Here's your beer, Mike.
And I have a beer, because
Yep.
you have to drink while you're cooking.
Right.
Well, you don't have to, but it makes it more pleasurable. Cooking is, I love cooking. I don't like baking so much because baking is very precise. You have to, if you make a mistake and get baking, you could really ruin your meal. You can't really ruin a meal when you're cooking, because if you like onions, you use a lot of onions. I usually cook onions at the start of every meal. Do you do that? Do you use onions a lot?
A lot.
I mean, you go olive oil and onions, that's how you start a meal.
And
in my
garlic.
book. And garlic. Of course, with garlic though, you can overcook it. So I always put it in after a little while. Because it's not like onions where you can brown them. You don't want to overcook garlic, in my opinion.
Hard?
So I learned, I first discovered sauerkraut pizza in, of all places, Iowa. I was building silos in Iowa. And I went to a restaurant that had sauerkraut pizza. And I've never made it for someone who didn't think it should be on Pizza Hut's or these famous pizza places menu. So, by the way, I'm in Camarillo, California, everybody. And I finally it's been a while since I had a really good stove to cook on. It's nice when the stove works. In that hostel, it didn't work. The house before that, in San Diego, it didn't work. But sometimes, you gotta cook on a Coleman. I'm gonna buy some camping equipment, and so I'm gonna be showing you some campfire meals. I'm gonna stop in hostels, beautiful homes like this, mostly hostels and campgrounds. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. So Harvey, are you a cook? Do you cook a lot, or is it always Kathy?
No, I don't cook much.
Harvey's our cameraman.
Let me cook scrambled eggs.
He cooks scrambled eggs. She's doing, she described what you're doing.
I'm making a dinner salad to go with the pizza.
Now, when you're cooking, you always got to. Perfect. See, if you don't squeeze the juice out of the sauerkraut, you're going to have a soggy pizza. You don't want that. Would you mind preheating the oven to 350? Or actually, 375.
Okay. So I have a problem.
Really?
Yeah, the guy's gonna come.
So it's a broken stove is what you're saying?
Somebody struck my door.
Oh my goodness. Another broken stove. She has to put the chair against the oven door to keep it closed.
Well, it's close, it just doesn't make that tight.
Well, the last stove I cooked on at the hostel, you had to turn one knob, then turn another knob, and the third knob to light it. And then after the electricity went out, it was electronic ignition. Then you had to, just use a lighter, light it. And the house before that, they had to use a lighter every time, and only one burner worked. You know what? You believe it or not, because the oven didn't work. I cooked ribs. I cooked a leg of lamb one night on a stovetop. That's not easy.
When we lived at the farmhouse, when we first moved into the farmhouse, I had 2 burners.
You should cook here facing the camera.
I had 2 burners and a microwave. That was it. And I made like full-on Thanksgiving dinner. It was
Wow.
crazy how good you can get when you don't have it.
Yeah, you just gotta make do and think positive about it. You know me, I'm the professor of positivity, possibly and practically the most positive person on the planet. If my name was Paul Paget, that'd even be better. You know, when I was doing my radio show, they said, try not to use words with P. I said, well, I'm the professor of positivity. How's that going to be possible? And when I first did my first radio show, they said, you got to come in the day before and do a practice run with the engineer. And I said, well, I don't do practice. I'm going to fall on my face, maybe, which I'm not afraid to do. But I don't do rehearsals. I don't do edits. I don't do second takes. It's called reality TV. Sometimes it's live. Like today, I had a fantastic interview with Harvey. You gotta watch it, it's still uploading. Because when I go live on YouTube, for some reason it takes about, 8 to 10 hours to upload to the internet. But that's day 63. Harvey was my guest. Day 63. This is gonna be a pizza extraordinaire. Do you have like pizza seasoning? Like some oregano and oregano over there? Things like that? Any salt and pepper? This is pepper.
It's oregano, what
I
else?
cooked a delicious steak the other night at the hostel, my last night there.
Yeah.
And all I did was put salt and pepper, and it was fantastic.
What do you need besides oregano?
Delicious. I don't know, what do you think? What's the other seasoning?
I have everything.
You have everything. She has everything, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
do, I have sage, I have thyme, I have onion powder, garlic powder.
Maybe a little garlic powder, that'd be nice, a little garlic powder.
Ginger, dill weed, cardamom, basil, turmeric.
Basil, also a little basil in there. Of course, fresh basil, everybody. You must grow fresh basil.
I
right?
don't grow fresh.
What?
No.
Jason gave me an indoor garden. It's 3 pods,
Yeah.
and we did basil, and it was fantastic.
Everybody
somebody calling me trying to make me work on a Sunday. Terrible. Of course, it's not Sunday. Sunday someplace. Well, maybe not. Smelling good. So now, as I was talking to when we did our cooking show yesterday, you know, some people will kind of fib for some reason when they're cooking. I like to tell everyone how easy it can be because you take, this is, you know, it's obviously everything that's packaged
Yes,
is supposedly bad for you because it's got preservatives in it.
right?
So, you know, the real chef is going to cook the tomatoes, which is really easy to do, you know, from scratch to make the pasta. You put a little tomato paste, a little crushed up tomatoes, you know, crush it up, cook it up, and you got your base. But I like to make things really easy, and believe me, the taste, I mean, I've never had any complaints, and I cook for a lot of people. I've cooked for a lot of people. I once charged $700 for a meal. So now I consider myself a professional chef because I got paid for one meal. Okay, so we're ready with the beef. Let me turn that off. So how many minutes was that? That was just a couple minutes. So now I've got a nice mixture of beef and spicy pork. I need a bowl to put this in. You have like a metal bowl. There we go. Thank you, sir. Okay, so now what you do is you take, where's the beef? You take the meat out. Well, that's one heavy pan. Okay, so the beef has been taken out. And you've got some oil on the pan. So now what you do is you take this, and this is, you know, $3.99. You can make it from scratch again, but this just makes it so much easier. You know, the classic, have you had that before?
No, I've never had that.
It's a pizza crust, Pillsbury. They've been around for 100 years, so they must know something about cooking or preparing. It's not the easiest thing to open, but you peel it back like this, as much as you can. See, like that? And you crack it against the stove, the countertop, or your head, whichever is the softest or the hardest. Now you take your dough and you unfold it, place it in the pan, and you can you see that okay? I'm up there. You want to open it? Maybe lift it up a little bit.
No, it's fine.
It's fine? Okay. So now you cover the pan with it. You try to make it an even all the way around. Okay, see that, everybody? So now you've basically covered the pan with the pizza dough. You gotta make sure it's kind of the same thickness all the way around. Okay, like that.
There you go.
Okay, now you take, can you open that? Well, I'm all greasy.
My hands are wet. Can you open it?
See, it takes 3 to cook.
You can wipe your hands in there.
Okay, Harvey did it. Now we're going
Oh,
to,
that's a strong drink.
you guys drinking? Now, ooh, margaritas again, huh? So now I just grabbed the most fun tool. You can use a spoon, and that's what I would normally use, but I'm gonna use paintbrush because I'm Michelangelo. Now I always like to get it all the way up to the crust, up to the edge like that. You see that okay, Harv?
Mm-hmm.
I think it needs a little bit more. You don't want to put too much. You don't want to put too little, you don't want to too much. A little bit more. So that's about even. Okay. Now, the meat. Put the meat back. Nice even layer of meat. Of course, if you don't eat meat, put vegetables, and you put shrimp. Of course, if you're vegan, you can't put shrimp either, right?
The salad's ready.
Salad's ready?
Yeah.
What did you put in the salad?
Okay.
You were kind of secretive back there.
I just made a quick salad. Can they see that?
Mm-hmm.
Romaine, chopped it up. Pumpkin seeds. These are apricots from my tree. Just picked apricots from my tree, and then a little goat cheese, and then I put a little olive oil and lemon juice on
Whoa.
top.
Now that's a serious layer of cheese, and you have some more leftovers.
Okay.
Burritos. Now, you take the nice and squeezed, Kathy did a great job of squeezing it, and you put a nice little layer
Tell them what it is, Mommy.
of sauerkraut. This is the secret ingredient. A lot of people said I should sell this, but I like being generous and giving my secrets away. So this is a very secret recipe, and I've been cooking it for years, and there's not one person that never just said it was the best pizza they ever had. Literally. And so you did a nice layer of sauerkraut. See that? There you go. Okay. Nice little layer. Now, the cheese. Uh-oh. Amber alert. Protests in the city.
Is that what that is?
Don't like it. And cheese. Lots of cheese.
So curfew alert.
Curfew alert? Wow, everybody, we just witnessed live a curfew alert.
We now live in a
Shelter at home. All the people that need clothes are out shopping by breaking up windows. That is a pizza, everybody. Look at that. Can't go wrong with that. And we have lots of cheese left over for another one. All right. Look at that.
Woo!
That's a pizza, everybody.
That's a pizza. That's
You
a
can even put pepperoni on top if you wanted, or some basil. Do you have jalapenos? Do you guys spicy? Do you guys like spice?
No,
You don't like spice.
I don't.
This is
But
no
you
spice.
can put. But I don't have jalapeno.
Oh, I have to. I always carry it.
Oh, well, put it on half.
No, we'll do it later. Put it on later. Okay, so now we put it in the oven. Is it hot?
Not yet.
Oh, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna? Okay, so we're gonna cut till it's also. We're just gonna put it in the oven, and then we're gonna eat it. So we're gonna come back when we're eating it to see how they like it.
How amazing is it?
Stay tuned.
Pause.
Why don't you stop? Okay, everybody, we had to do a MacGyver here. So, the oven, someone sat on it, and so it didn't close completely. So we were putting our feet on it to hold, Kathy and I were putting our feet to hold the thing closed. And I came up with a little bit of an idea of putting a piece of wood, and Harvey had a expandable curtain rod, and there it is. We've just fixed the stove. Every stove, everything has a little works.
So
And
it's ready to go.
and it's ready to go. Everybody stand by. Everybody, this is the hardest part. And what you can do if you're faint of heart or you're not strong enough to lift this thing, because you're certainly not strong enough. You'd have to use two hands. Is you can cut it right in there and dish it out that way. That way you don't risk what might happen here is it falling apart while you're pulling it out. So what you do is you want to go around the edge, loosen it up like we're both doing. See that? So now it's all loosened up. Now, there we go.
Oh, Monty, that looks amazing.
There, that's a pizza, guys.
Throw that back on top.
Right there.
Like this. You guys
Uh-oh.
have that.
Don't waste food, everybody. Now, pizza slicer is, look at this one. This is nice. Compact. You can carry it in your back pocket, wherever you go. It's simple. This is where, if you went to, in school, if you took geometry, this is where you learn how to do that. That's it, guys. Now, next shot, we're gonna be eating it, so we'll let you know. Be right back at you. And we're drinking margaritas, which is even better.